Welcome back to the Cult Cinema Circle podcast. My name is Jesse, and I'll be your host. Now, on today's episode, we're going to cover what I watched in the month of May. Now, I don't think I watched like a ton of things this month, but I did get out there and watch a few things here and there. So, and I'll talk about what I watched. So, without further ado, let's get into that. So, the first thing I watched for this month was actually for a previous episode I did in April, and that was Road Trip from 2000. And so, this movie, if you don't know what it's about this guy who films his one-night stand with a very pretty sorority girl played by Amy Smart. He thinks he accidentally sends this video to his actual girlfriend played by Rachel Blanchard, and he goes on a cross-country kind of sort of road trip with some people. We have Travis, I almost call him Travis, but Breckin Meyer. We have Sean William Scott, fresh off of American Pie. Paulino Costanza, or whatever his name is, Costanzo, the guy from Animorphs, and then DJ Qualls is there. This is a Todd Phillips movie, the guy who did Joker and The Hangover and stuff. And so this movie in particular, I gave it a 3 and a little heart. For what sex comedies are, I don't think it's actually the worst. Honestly, it's definitely vulgar. It definitely has that kind of raunch to it, but it's I don't know, it's fine. Some of my notes were just God, I hate Jacob in this film. Bleh. He's the TA played by Anthony Rapp, and that's not because Anthony Rapp is in Rent, and I don't love that movie a whole lot, but he does play a hateable character in this movie, which is fun enough to watch. I'm still confused on why Tom Green is in this movie at all. I was a wee babe in 1999, so I remember Andy Dick having his own show and Tom Green having his own show, so I'm I get why he's in it kind of, but then also I'm well, why is he though? I don't know. I did like his little song about the salmon though. That was kind of fun. And I also like how in this movie the mouse and the snake, because Tom Green is left to his own devices to feed the snake, I guess, and he's gonna feed him a mouse, I guess, and then the mouse and the snake actually just become besties. It's really nice. Give me a movie about them though. That'd be nice. And also I said I would also fuck Kyle too, and you know what, don't judge me. Yeah, I think especially now DJ Qualls, I think he even got more hot as he got older, honestly. And I was watching some interviews with him and stuff, he's done some podcasts recently, and I don't know, he looks good. He is also gay as hell and has a husband now. Good for him. But yeah, that's what I started off the month with. The next thing I watched was actually, I never seen it before, but it was on Canopy and I decided to watch it. It was What Lies Beneath from 2000. This movie has Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford. When Claire, so Michelle Pfeiffer, is hearing ghostly voices and seeing spooky images, she wonders if it's an otherworldly spirit who is trying to contact her, and all the while her husband is trying to reassure her that it's just all in her head. But as she investigates, she discovers the man she loves might know more than what he's letting on. And that's kind of what I'll leave it at that, I guess. I gave this a 3 and a little heart. Again, I did Road Trip. I don't know, I like this movie enough. I think it was 130 minutes, so it's over 2 hours, and I don't think it needed to be that long, honestly, but I did generally like this. It's definitely a ghosty type story. Love a Catherine Town in there, of course. She's from the In Crowd and Mulholland Drive, and But I'm a Cheerleader and stuff. She plays the daughter in this movie, and it's a good time. I didn't dislike it necessarily. I'm not running out to go watch it again anytime soon, but that's just me. But it's definitely worth a watch if you want a different kind of ghost movie, or use a Michelle Pfeiffer movie. That's always fun, because who doesn't love a Michelle Pfeiffer movie, honestly. The next thing I watched after that was actually because This Isn't Prom. Good old BJ Colangelo and her wife Harmony, they did May Musical Month this month, so they covered all musicals on their podcast, and one of the ones was Cabaret from 1972, and shockingly I'd never seen this movie before, and I was like, you know what, I need to do that. And so this movie, if you don't know what it's about, it's based off of a stage show. It takes place in Berlin in 1931 at the Kit Kat Club. We have Sally Bowles, played by, in this movie, Liza Minnelli, and a little MC played by Joel Grey in an Oscar-winning performance, also Liza won the Oscar for this. They are pretty much, they have this like kind of, alternative, debaucherous, if you will, cabaret in the middle of what is Nazi Germany. And, this movie to me, it just like, I gave it like a 5-star, like off the rip, and just like a little heart. Is that because I'm a homosexual? Probably. But like also like this movie rocked. I really liked it. And, I think there's a few things going on here. I think, the whole thing with like Sally Bowles is she's supposed to kind of be like a bad performer, but like when you put Liza in there, I mean, mama, look at the material, like, come on now. But like, I think like everybody in it, like, I mean, she does a great job. The guy who plays Michael, I think his name is, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's, no, Brian, sorry. Michael is his actor's name. But yeah, that guy, he's good. Joel Grey, I mean, fantastic. Like, oh my God. Just everything about it. Like, I've also, like, this is based off of a book by Christopher Isherwood. I have been to Berlin, Germany back in 2014, and we took a little, my group that I was with my school, we took a little tour of like queer Berlin, and we were able to like, stop at different places, and we talked about Christopher Isherwood and all this, because of course Cabaret. But yeah, this is my first Fosse movie I've ever seen. I have not seen all that jazz, or I don't know about any of his other movies, but like this one was really good, and I really liked it, and I think you all should fucking watch it, even if it's a musical. Like, it's really good. I think the ending's really impactful because it's just true to life, and I just think it's like really, it's such a good time. And then also, like, if you have if you've watched like Glee, for example, or if you've watched like Schitt's Creek, where they do cabaret in the town of Schitt's Creek, then you can kind of get that sort of context, which is really fun. And I would just recommend it, even if you're maybe not a musical person. I mean, obviously, like, if you're not a musical person, you might not fucking like it anyway, but I still recommend it because I think it's cool. And it's a good time. And then the next day or so, I I took myself to the theater after I think I pulled some overtime at my job, and I decided I was gonna take myself to the movies. And I think I actually found like or I think my sister found a gift card like for me or something, and like she found one and she was like, here you go. And she didn't buy it for me, but she found it somewhere. And anyway, so like it was like for a $20 gift card or something. I was like, bitch, I'm gonna go and see a movie. And I saw Sinners from this year. Finally went and saw that. If you don't know what this movie is about, it's a Ryan Coogler movie. He was the guy who did Black Panther, obviously. This place takes place is I think it's 1930s. I think it's 30s, like Mississippi or one of those southern states. I don't remember. But it's about these two brothers played by Michael B. Jordan, respectively. They return to their hometown, only to discover that this greater evil is coming to welcome them back. And this movie was really good. I gave it a 4 and a little heart. Now, I will say, did I actually miss the end of the movie in this situation? Yes, I did. And I think other people were also like me, because I'm an idiot and I didn't realize that, at the end of the movie, I'm not gonna give spoilers, I guess, but like, if I guess, but like I didn't realize that so please be aware, if you're gonna watch Sinners, I guess, don't, when you think the movie might be ending, it's not over yet, so you gotta wait a little bit. But you know what, I say in my review that it gives me another reason to watch this movie, because it'll probably come to HBO Max at some point soon. I don't know when exactly, but it'll probably will. And because it's a WB movie, it's a Warner Brothers movie from what I remember, and so of course they all go to HBO Max, so not surprising if it will, but just gives me another reason to watch it. But it was really good though. I mean, oh my god, what was her name? I mean, I liked Haley Steinfeld, of course. I was on an Arcane kick back a while back, because my boss, actually, he was like, you should watch Arcane, and it's actually really good. But yeah, Wunmi Musako, who is from His House, and that movie fucking rocks too. But like, she was really good in this movie. Like everybody in it was just fucking iconic and just really good, honestly. And the music was really good, and it was a good time. Like I don't know, like I didn't dislike my watch of it. It was pretty fun. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that if you're at all interested. I didn't see it in IMAX or anything, and like I said, I missed some of the ending, but because I thought it wasn't, I thought it was done, and I just left. But whatever, it is what it is. Next thing I watched was just I decided to finally watch the Best Picture winner from last year, everybody, or I guess of 2025, because they were earlier this year. I watched Anora from 2024. So if you don't know what this movie is about, it stars Mikey Madison from Scream and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is about a young sex worker who is like a stripper, I think, kind of an escort too, and she's from Brooklyn, and she gets her chance at like a Cinderella story when she meets and she impulsively marries this Russian oligarch, pretty much, and then the family of this like little young Russian guy come to get this marriage annulled. And I just said it's just girls doing girly things, whatever. But then you throw in some Russian thugs, I guess, and I like this. I ended up giving it 4.5 and a little heart, and I'm not mad at that. I would probably still give it a 4.5 or a 4 maybe out of 5. I didn't dislike this or anything. I will say, I did watch this in The Substance, as you may know, and so these of course were the two people, Demi Moore and Mikey Madison, who were really vying for Best Actress. And to be honest, even though I love Demi Moore, like I see why Mikey won, because god damn it, does she put her whole fucking everything into this fucking movie. Not just because she gets naked or whatever a little bit, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing, but like I think like she imbues a lot into this character, and I just like really enjoyed watching her and just her being impulsive as hell. Oh god, this movie is just like such a I don't know, it's just a lot going on, and I thought it was I thought it was a good time personally. I know there's definitely people who don't bang with Sean Baker, or they're like movie making is not very ethical, I guess, or whatever, and shady shit and cutting corners and blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I still watched it, and I'm glad I watched it. I'm not trying to watch all the Best Picture winners necessarily, but it's always kind of something where I'm like, let me try this. But yeah, I did like this though, and it is very interesting. It's like a different kind of like comedy in a way. It's very dark, and it's also kind of a drama too. But like there is some funny in here, but it's just very dark funny. So, and again, that's kind of my shit. I like that. So yeah, I did like Anora. It was on Hulu, and I decided to watch it, and it was perfectly good in my opinion. So yes. The next thing I watched was I was really wanting to see this because I'd heard a good amount about it, but I decided to watch The Ugly Stepsister from 2025. This is a Norwegian film, I believe. This is pretty much a retelling of the Cinderella story, but from the aspect or the perspective of one of the ugly stepsisters. So Elvira is her name, and she is pretty much competing with her incredibly beautiful stepsister. I'm trying to remember what her name was. Wasn't it Matilda? It was something else. God damn it, I'm trying to look it up. Was it Rebecca or something like that? Wait a minute. No, it was Rebecca. Yeah, it was Rebecca. Okay, cool. Anyway, whatever. So this is pretty much like Ever After if there was some fucked up shit. Pretty much this is what this is. And it's female directed. That's always fun. But yeah, I did like this. There's a lot of weird shit going on. This is not for maybe the faint of heart, perhaps. Like I said, it's like a little bit like Ever After if, there was just some nudity and some blood and some weird crazy shit going on. Okay, that's all you need to know, I guess, if you want to pull up on it on Shudder. But yes, I did like this, and I also like that it's just very ironic in a way. But like the apparently in Norwegian, the ending of this movie, it says slut, SLUTT, which is just kind of funny because obviously slut is a derogatory or an empowering, whatever, I don't know, term, or a term of endearment perhaps for some, film, or who knows, but it's a reclaimed thing. But that actually does mean like finished, like in like Norwegian or whatever. So I just think it's very funny. It's very ironic in a way, but like, yeah, not that necessarily Elvira's a slut or anything like that, but it's just like, I just thought it was kind of fun. It's like girly pop fun. Like, I don't know. But anyway, that's that. Speaking of girly pop fun, that's not maybe that, but like, you know, it's a good time. Because you probably may have already seen this on the Instagram, but I am doing the Summer of the Dolls. So I decided to start off the month with doing Welcome to the Dollhouse from 1995. This was the second feature, I believe, of one Mr. Todd Salons. This follows a young lady by the name of Dawn Wiener, played by Heather Matarazzo in her first ever film role, and she is coping with her suburban life in the, you know, suburbs of New Jersey as the middle child with inattentive parents and bullies at school. And I really like this movie. I gave it a 4 and a little heart. I said that it's the New York or New Jersey accents, I guess, on these children that just crack my shit up. It's very funny. But this movie is very much, God, there's so much to say about it, and you'll hear about it in my episode, I'm sure. But there's so much to say, and, you know, I just think, like, if you are at all ever bullied in school, or if you've ever felt marginalized, or fucking just, like, not like everyone else, like, this movie is definitely something you should watch. It was on Tubi the last time I checked. It sometimes shows up in different places. I think it showed up on HBO before, but, like, it's a wild time, and it's, like, very subversive and very black comedy and very misanthropic in a way, but it's so good though, and I really enjoy it personally. Yeah, it's one of those things where I can't help but enjoy it and just get something out of it. And, you know, I think Heather Matarazzo is a damn star in my opinion. So there is that. The next thing I watched was actually from last year as well, and I decided to pull up on it because it's finally on HBO. No, it is not The Brutalist. I'm still not, it was funny, like, I was texting my friend Rob, shout out Rob, and he's not listening to this show, but whatever, I was texting him a little bit, and we were talking, and he was like, I don't know if I was saying, like, oh yeah, I want to maybe watch The Brutalist because it's on HBO or whatever, and he didn't really like the end of it. Like, the first half apparently was fine, and then the second half is, like, not good, I guess. And I'm just like, oh no, I haven't seen it yet. But like, it is on HBO right now, and I'm just like, maybe I'll pull up on that at some point. But I didn't pull up on it this month. But anyway, what I did pull up on was Heretic from last year, 2024, and I liked this movie. I gave it a 3.5 and a little heart. This is about 2 young Mormon missionaries, one played by Chloe East and the other one played by Sophie Thatcher. Which did I mention that in my last? Did I even log that? Wait a minute, did I? Oh yes, I did. I said I saw Companion last month. Okay, so this is my other Sophie Thatcher movie I watched, and so I was like, did I talk about that? But anyway, it's about these 2 Mormon missionaries. They are forced to prove their faith when they knock on the wrong door, and are greeted by this man named Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant, becoming ensnared in his deadly game of cat and mouse. And it's a very much like a kind of crisis of faith and stuff. And yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, like, you know, I thought this premise was like really interesting, and it was entertaining enough to keep my, you know, general interest within it. It definitely has the zeal of what A24 is kind of known for. But, you know, this movie overall is all about just like questioning your belief and your faith. And I think that a lot of people can really see themselves in some of the characters, like the sisters here. And, you know, I don't think it's just completely surface level. There is a little bit of depth to it. There are definitely some people who think it's surface level. But I do think there is something a little more to it, which I thought was pretty cool. And I really loved the performance in this. Sophie Thatcher, of course, is like really good in a lot of what she does, but Chloe East was also really great because she definitely plays the more naive, like, sister. Like, she was brought up in the church, you know what I mean? And she's very much like that kind of sheltered person. You could definitely get that off of her. But I really thought that her kind of arc through the movie was really good, and I really liked it. And Hugh Grant was really creepy in this movie. I did not end up finishing. I started watching Bridget Jones because I know he's in that movie, and I didn't end up finishing it. That's not because I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like it. So maybe I'll try that again. I don't know. Like, I like it. I like Renee Zellweger sometimes, but I'll get around to watching those at some point. But yeah, but he was like really creepy in this, and I like having a weird, I don't know, I like a creepy old man in my movies. movies sometimes, okay? Not in a weird way. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I like that. But yeah, no, I liked this movie generally. It was cool. And, there's definitely something, again, it's an A24 movie. So, that kind of shit we have going on. But it's definitely kind of an interesting little film. And I would check it out if you at all want to. I think it's worth your time. The next thing I watched was, again, for the Summer of the Dolls. Because I already talked about how I watched Valley of the Dolls last month. And I recorded an episode on that. But I decided as well, I'm going to be covering Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which is from 1970, which is a Russ Meyer movie. And this is, I gave this a 3.5 and a little heart. This is about a band by the name of, they started off as, I think, the Kelly Affair or something. They turned into the Carrie Nations, and they moved to Hollywood in the hopes of achieving success, only to fall into a whirlwind of wickedness and decadence. Yes, as Russ Meyer would want us to have. This movie was really fucking cool. I liked it. I gave it a 3.5 and a little heart. I like the songs in this. I like just the characters throughout. I think they're just really interesting. Kind of their looks and the vibe I get from this. It's definitely, and obviously this was written with Russ Meyer and then, Roger Ebert. This movie's so weird. It's a comedy kind of, it's a road movie, or like it's a musical kind of movie. Like there's music throughout it. But also there's a bit of a horror in there. Like, if you know, and we'll probably talk about it. We'll be talking about that when we do the episode. But it's just such an interesting little film. And, this is a Fox movie, for God's sakes. Like, this is Russ Meyer, is his one thing he did that was like for a big studio. And that was because of, the success of Vixen, his film with Erica Gavin. But this movie is like his one way of being able to get like a studio film. And it was generally successful, which was cool, but it's just interesting to see something like this. And it's fucking weird, bro, but it's like kind of groovy. There's something about it that I do generally enjoy, and I think it's just really interesting. And I, think it's definitely worth your time. It's starting to stream more, which is good. It's on the Criterion Collection with Valley of the Dolls as well. But I did like this movie, and I think even if you need to rent it or something, I think that's worth it as well, because it's a good time, personally, in my opinion. The next thing I watched was actually, again, for the Valley of the Dolls. Wow. The Summer of the Dolls. Now, I was going to do life size on this month, okay? However, I realized that I can't because I don't own that movie, and plus, that shit, it doesn't stream anywhere. It's not on YouTube or anything. And whatever, it's fine. But I was like, okay, well, I guess I can't do that because I can't find it anywhere. I can't stream it. I would rent it, but no, can't do that. But anyway, with that, I decided to change gears. I decided to switch courses, and in this situation, I decided I was going to cover Superstar, the Karen Carpenter story. That's right, that one first film of one Mr. Todd Haynes. And if you don't know what this movie is, it is a movie told through Barbie dolls, and it pretty much chronicles the last, the 17 years of Miss Karen Carpenter's career, who was, in a little band, like a little duo with her brother Richard, and they had popular ass songs in the 70s. And if you don't already know, she died of anorexia, and you'll hear all about that in my episode, because this movie is 43 minutes. It's a little short movie that Todd Haynes made in graduate school. If you don't know who Todd Haynes is, he's a queer ass director. He did the movie Safe, Velvet Goldmine. He did the Mildred Pierce adaptation for HBO. He did May December from 2022 or 2023, whichever one. He's iconic. He's very he does melodrama really well, and he has this just way of making these films. And this is where it all starts, which is just weird to think, but it's kind of a good time though. I like this movie. I gave it a 3 and a 3 out of 5. And you'll hear all about it in my episode. Pretty much just me talk about goddamn Karen Carpenter, which is fine with me. But because I do like her, I like her voice, and I like I kind of like the music of the Carpenters. I'm not that mad at it. And so you'll hear all about that in my episode. episode. But that is what you will get at the end of the month instead of Life Size. I'm so sorry. But you'll hear what we're covering in July, and maybe it'll make you happy too. I don't know. The next thing I watched, we're closing in on near the end of the month, but I decided to watch a little film from 2014, again, because the Sins at Prom did an episode on it. I decided to watch Stage Fright from 2014. This movie is about a little theater camp. I don't remember what the hell it's called, but is terrorized by a bloodthirsty killer who hates musical theater, apparently. And I was aware of this movie because, yes, the Sins at Prom did an episode on it where they are a little more favorable on it. But also I had heard the Horror Queers do an episode on this as well a while back on their show, back in 2020 or 2019. I think it was 2019, actually. And they both do not like this movie, Tracer Joe. And to be honest, I kind of get it. I don't think that there is like... I don't know. I think that this is a really interesting premise for a movie. I just think the way it was executed, I just can't say I really liked it a ton. I gave it a 2 out of 5. And I think I'm pretty squarely all right with that. I think this, like I said, it's a fun premise. I see what they're doing. I see what they're trying to do with like it being funny. I don't know how funny it is though. Like there are some parts where it was kind of like, oh, hee hee ha ha. It's fun to see like Ephraim Ellis, Rick from Degrassi, and also from the I'm Upset music video, I guess. He's in this movie playing a guy who's not gay, but he's definitely very much gay. That's a whole thing. I'm gay, but not in that way sort of thing. That's literally like lines from the movie or song from the movie, kind of, sort of. Anyway, but I just didn't really love this a whole lot. Personally, singing kind of I don't know if it was that good. Personally, the songs I don't think were that great. But again, I like the idea of anybody getting killed at a camp. I'm kind of into that, except don't be telling me that, because I did watch that They/Them movie, and bitch, that was not good. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Beyonce. You look like Luther Vandross, like that. No. Oh God. That movie was so bad, guys. Like it's not very good. And I feel bad because I know it was like a queer director. I'm just like, oh, but like, no, that's They/Them movie. And you all used Anna Klumsky. Y'all wasted her. What did I just find out about her? She did like a voice of something. Oh no, she was the voice of, you knew this? She was the voice of Charlotte Pickles in the new Rugrats that they do on Paramount Plus. And I was like, oh my God, good for Anna Klumsky. I love her. But anyway, didn't really like Stage Fright. Sorry, but that's my opinion. I did end up watching, I was also watching like some TV as well. I know I normally try to like say this at the end or whatever. I was watching, I think I watched a few more episodes of Mad Men. I'm going through the show. Listen, I very well might do a Mad Men episode at some point. I'm not saying it's happening like right away, but I kind of want to do it. I'm not going to lie. And I have a guest that wants to do it too. So I'm kind of into that. Oh my God. I'm watching all fucking 7 seasons of that show. And also, I think it started at the beginning of the month. I don't remember. The Reliving Living Single podcast started with Eric Alexander and Kim Coles. And it's a good little podcast. I've been subscribed to them on YouTube and on the podcatcher on Apple Podcasts. And it's a good little show. I have been working my way through a little bit of Living Single as well. Again, I'm so horrible with sitcoms sometimes, but I've really like Living Single has been cracking my shit up though. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And it's all on HBO. So love that. So maybe that's what I'll be watching as well. I'm gonna maybe that could be something that's kind of like, how like Sabrina sometimes, like that might be something, because I've never fucking watched Living Single ever. Never grew up watching it. That's just what it was. So anyway, whatever. With all that being said, it's coming back to HBO. I decided to watch, because it finally came out, the Pee-wee as himself documentary documentary on HBO. This is about a young man by the name of Paul Reubens, and it's broken up into two parts, and it's pretty much going over Paul Reubens' life and how he created this role of Pee Wee Herman, or this character of Pee Wee Herman, and how it kind of turned into this whole thing. It goes into how he was. Yeah, he goes into a lot of stuff. I mean, it goes into how he, discovered that he was a queer man and how he had to hide that. It also goes into, obviously, his success with something like Pee-wee's, Big Adventure, and then Pee-wee's Playhouse and all this, which is cool. And then into his subsequent things, like when he got caught at an adult movie theater, maybe you're not touching himself, I don't know. And then the whole thing with allegations that he had child porn in the early 2000s. That was the whole thing as well. So yeah, I gave this a 3.5 and a little heart. I generally like a good, Paul Reubens, thing. I don't dislike him or anything. I think he has a really interesting, he had a really interesting viewpoint, and, was definitely, when you watch this documentary, it's very much like he came from that sort of performance art background. He was a part of a goddamn circus, kind of, sort of, literally. So it's interesting to kind of see that, and to see how that kind of then turned into what it would end up being with like Pee Wee Herman, and like how he made that and everything. But yeah, I don't have like huge thoughts on it, because again, I didn't watch Pee Wee like that as a kid. I was kind of after my time a little bit. I was definitely watching, Nickelodeon and stuff like that, or Cartoon Network and stuff, and I just wasn't watching something like Pee-wee or anything, and it's not like I was watching reruns of it, you know what I mean? The only thing I said on Letterboxd is because Cassandra Peterson, Elvira herself, was very good friends with Paul up until his death. Of course, it has she's in the documentary because she was interviewed for it, and her lower third, which is like where the name and like maybe a character name or like what their affiliation with the project was there, and it just says Cassandra Peterson, and then below it says Elvira, and I said, you're goddamn right, she is. And I've got like 4 likes on it. That's very nice. So thank you for the people who liked it. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't like blown away by that documentary, because I don't have a huge like connection to Pee Wee Herman or Paul Reubens as a person, really. But it was interesting to kind of see this, and I didn't dislike my watch of it necessarily. Do I think it needed to be like 2-part documentary? I don't know. You probably could have told this story in like 2 hours or something. Like, that's just my opinion, but what do I know? I don't make documentaries. But anyway, but that's what I thought about that. Second to last thing I watched was actually from 2023, but it came out last year. I decided to watch Strange Darling from 2023, which showed 2024. This is a Kyle Gallner movie. With Fitzgerald technically, but no, it's a Kyle Gallner movie in my opinion. I love Kyle Gallner so much. But you have Willa Fitzgerald in this movie. They there's something that happens where Kyle Gallner and Willa Fitzgerald, they have a little one-night stand, and then something happens where shit goes left, and that's really all I can say. If you listened to the last episode, I think the early episode of last month with Equinox with Jackson, we did talk about Ed Begley Jr. because he was I think the assistant cameraman on that movie, and Giovanni Ribisi, notable Scientologist. Just like how, what's also funny about that, I'll get back to Strange Darling in a minute, but like I've also been like, obviously I said I was rewatching Mad Men, not that I've actually watched it before, I'm watching it, and I was like, damn, God, Elizabeth Olsen, you are so... Not Elizabeth Olsen. Wow, everybody. I'm so sorry. Elizabeth Olsen, you're fine. Elizabeth Moss. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's just like, so the thing of like, God, y'all are so talented. Why do you have to be a Scientologist? What's going on here? Anyway... fucking Giovanni Ribisi shot this movie, Strange Darling, and also his like sister, who was like one of my favorite little characters in Dazed and Confused, Cynthia with the little red hair, and she was married to Beck for all those years. Like, she's also a Scientologist. It's very interesting. It's very upsetting. Anyway, back to Strange Darling. So yeah, Ed Begley Jr. is in this movie. He is married to Barbara Hershey in the film, and they are mountain people, I guess. If you know, you know. But anyway, whatever. I just said I love you, Ed Begley Jr. However, I cannot forgive this rat tail. And if you know, you know. Okay, that gives you incentive to watch the movie, if anything. But it was a good time though. Like, I did like it. I gave it 3.5 on a little heart. You can't make me hate Kyle Gallner necessarily. I follow that man on Instagram, and you know, I like seeing him. You know, listen, he is also very attractive, and that's all it really is. And you know, maybe I can, I don't know, come over for ice cream or something. That'd be cool. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. So yeah, Strange Darling, it's on Paramount Plus if you want to go watch it. It's a good time. I liked it. And if you like a thriller, it's not like a super big horror movie or anything, but like there's definitely like an aspect in there. But it's like a cat and mouse kind of thing. It's like a thriller. It's pretty good. I liked it personally. There's some people who do not like it, but I get it. But I did kind of like my watch of it though. And I rounded out the month by watching another ghost story. Not really like What Lies Beneath, but I decided to finally watch The Others from 2001 with Nicole Kidman. Nick. Anyway, love Nicole Kidman, of course. Do I love that she's married to Keith Urban? I don't know. But who knows? Whatever. Anyway, if you don't know what The Others is about, this is, I don't know how to say his name, Alejandro Amenabar, I believe. He is a Spanish director, obviously. And this is about a woman named Grace, played by Nicole Kidman. And she lives in this old house. It keeps it dark because her two children, Anne and Nicholas, they have a rare sensitivity to light. And this family begins to suspect that their house is haunted. She is fighting to protect her children at any costs. And yeah, she's also very strict. She's very religious and all these things. And I don't know. The Others was kind of a cool ride. I liked it. I gave it a 4 and a little heart. I actually started watching this on Shudder a while back, and I didn't end up finishing it. But then I ended up watching it on, I think, Vudu, and that's where I watched it. And I watched it in Ultra 4K or whatever the hell, Ultra 4K HD or whatever the hell. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good time. It looks really pretty. This is a ghost story. It gets in and gets out pretty easily. It's like 1 hour and 44 minutes. Pretty nice. Great. I think it earns it. And it's a good time. I know that they did the Criterion on this. I don't know if it's still around. It might be. I might need to pick it up. I might just need to pick it up just for the lulz, or just for the fun. It was a good time. And I like that this is just a different kind of ghost story. That's what I will tell you about it. Like, that doesn't give a ton away, because the whole thing is that, Grace thinks that her family is being haunted by stuff because of shit that is happening in her house. So I'm not giving anything away with that. You can kind of tell, but it is really interesting. And I thought it was a very well done movie, in my opinion. And I think that's everything I watched in the month of May. So that's fun. And I already told you some of the TV shows I was watching. And we'll see what I'm doing in terms of, again, I'm doing Summer of the Dolls on the pod, of course. And we'll see what else I'm going to go out and try to see. I do want to go try and maybe see Final Destination Bloodlines. That'd be fun. And maybe also see Bring Her Back, because I did Talk to Me, and this is another Filippo, movie that's coming out. And I've been hearing some crazy things about that movie, and so we'll have to see about that. And then Final Destination Bloodlines, listen, we're already 5 movies in, and there's 6 fucking movie. I'm gonna fucking probably watch it. I'm not gonna lie. So that's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, and we'll see what else the hell I'm doing. I wanted to watch. I don't know if it's coming around anywhere I'm at, but we're doing Clueless as a Fathom event, and I don't really do those Fathom events like that. But bitch, I would maybe do that for Clueless. But I'm not driving really, really far necessarily to go see it. I mean, I don't know if I want to see it that bad, but I do own it, obviously. But whatever. Anyway, but yeah, well, that's what I watched this month. But yeah, if you want to let me know, what did you watch this month? Did you watch something really bad or really good, or did you have suggestions of what I should watch? I was told that with the Fear Street movie that is on Netflix, the little prom queen one, I was just told it was fine. So it's okay. I have not heard good things personally about it. But who knows? I didn't end up actually. You know, it's funny. I didn't finish that fucking whatchamacallit. I didn't finish the. I watched the '94 one. I didn't watch the '70 or '81 or whatever, and then I didn't watch the one in the 1600s. So you know, it's not like I have like an attachment to the Fear Street series. So I'm kind of like, okay. So yeah, but you know, what did y'all watch? Tell me what I maybe should watch. I might be doing the horror queers. They have a Pride Watch calendar. So be on the lookout. That's probably what I'm gonna watch this month. I'm gonna see if I can try to like watch something every day, and it's gonna be gay as hell because you know what, we gay as hell up in here. You know, it's all good, gang gang. But anyway, so yeah, you know, it's a good time, and yeah, maybe that's what you'll get to look forward to, is that what did I watch during this gay ass month, and maybe I'll watch a gay ass movie. I don't know yet. Like, we'll see. I don't know. But with all that being said, everybody, though, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the Cult Cinema Circle podcast. And you know what? I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.